What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of With the Boys podcast. Come and hang out with us. I'm your host, Tony Hernandez. Here's my co host, Gian La Chanza. And today we have a great guest, my good friend, Adal Loreto, who is a radio host, a singer, an actor, and a dancer. And I don't know what else, but he is all kinds of stuff. What's up, man?
I have a little hot dog stand too, like right outside the SoFi Stadium in LA.
Oh, you too? Oh, I do that too. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, man.
I'm happy to have you. When we were talking about having our next guest, I was like, okay, I have the guy, my friend Adal. Let me hit him up and see if he's available.
But let me tell you guys, the first thing he asks is, "Do you speak English?"
yeah.
The podcast in English.
You know what? Is it because you're a great radio host?
I come out as very Mexican. That's what.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, you have a lot of experience in this. So I actually I asked, I would like some tips and advices from you because you've been doing this for so long, right? And I know that your show is in Spanish and you sing in Spanish. And I always ask everybody, like, hey, do you speak English? Just in case, because I don't want to throw you in a situation in which you're not prepared. Yeah, like, ¿Qué dice, señor? Yeah, so, yeah, man. So who is Adal Loreto, man? Let's start with that because I know a little bit about you, but I want to get to know you more. And I know all our viewers and listeners wants to know who is Adal Loreto.
You want to know my background?
Yeah.
So I was born in a small little town. Well, it's a city, but I was raised, at least for the first 8 years of my life, in a very small town, population of 100 people.
Okay.
Not less.
Wow.
Up until when I was 8 years old, my mother decided to migrate to the U.S. and he brought us along.
Okay.
My siblings and I.
What's the name of the place?
It's La Escalera.
La Escalera. Ah, nice.
Which translates as the ladder.
The ladder, yeah. Where's that located in Mexico?
It's located in Jalisco, the state of Jalisco, near Guadalajara, about 45 minutes.
Tapatio.
From Guadalajara, Tapatio.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And so you came here when you were 8 years old, and you went back and forward very often, or how was your?
No, we actually came to San Diego, California, and we lived here for a year and a half, and then we moved to Yakima, Washington, which is also a very small town in the state of Washington. Was there for half a year, and then it got too complicated for my mother because after my mom divorced and my dad, we struggled a lot. So and she had to be working three jobs at a time. And it was just too complicated for her, and so she spoke to my dad and asked him if he could take us back, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's how we ended up back in Mexico with my dad. Spent 3 years with them. I finished my elementary and then went to junior high. Didn't finish junior high when I was already coming back to the U.S. because I love my country. I love Mexico, but I just miss my mother so much that I wanted to be with her.
Yeah.
So in one of those visits for my grandma to our little hometown, I asked her to bring us back with her, and I pretty much forced her to bring us back, or otherwise I would have just came by myself.
Wow. Yeah, you were that determined to just come with your mom.
I was very determined. Yeah, especially because I knew that there was something for me here in the U.S. and it was a little more complicated being out there by myself because my dad was with us, but he was just out and about minding his own business and not really paying much attention to us. Not that I want to talk smack about my dad, but
yeah.
Dads are different than moms.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So what? How old were you?
I was 14 when we came back, my sister and I, to the U.S., and then we went to Yakima again with my mom.
Okay.
And then that's where I pretty much started developing my skills, my singing skills. That's where I found my first radio job at 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So tell me more about that. How did you get that job?
So I was in high school, and I was very involved with those clubs, the mecha clubs and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
And so I was very active with my little school community and stuff. And I had a good friend that had this great idea of going to a radio station and asking the program director to give us a little space there to talk about different options for the students, because there was a lot of gangs and stuff.
Yeah.
And we wanted to be away from them. And we also wanted to influence more people to be away from them, and then find other activities other than being in a gang and stuff, because it was just too dangerous. The environment was just too scary, at school back in the day. So he had that idea. We went to the local radio station there, asked for the program director. He said, well, that's funny, two little kids wanting the radio show, but he found it interesting. And then he says, well, why don't you come up with a plan or something, a proposal, type it up and then send it to me, and then we'll talk about it the next time we see each other.
Yeah.
So we went back home, and then I remember writing like 2-3 paragraphs and then sending it over to him. Did we have email back in the day? Yeah, I think we did. We did have emails back in the day too. Yeah, because this was 1995. Yeah, 1995. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I think the email was already around, but we just didn't have a computer, so
Yeah.
we had to go to the
library.
And so that, oh, you're from that era too?
Actually, he's younger. How old are you, Gian?
Turning 28 in a month.
Okay.
Oh, you're just a kid, man.
Yeah.
I'm 41.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You.
You're looking very good, man. Oh, so your story is a little bit similar to mine.
Mm-hmm.
Something similar that happened, but mine was not a radio station. Was a small TV station.
A TV station.
Yeah, small one. Yeah, a very small one. Like they were like not findable. Like you cannot find it. Nobody watched that show. Yeah.
But I don't know about you, but I remember when I was like 5-6 years old, thinking about, how do they do TV? How do they do radio? And just being curious about how media worked.
Yeah.
And then I remember wanting to get into the little
consoles and
consoles and the TVs and the radios and stuff, like to see if there was little monito.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as a kids we have a lot of imagination. I think I thought the same thing. And since a younger age, I always wanted to be involved in the media. I knew it. Like I had a feeling. I'm from TJ, and I'm from like a very humble area, and it's like up the hill. And from there I can see the U.S. And I remember.
Oh, you're from Tijuana.
Sí.
So you could see San Diego.
I was able to see the border and the city. And the 4th of July, I was able to see the fireworks and all that shit. Excuse my language. You can cuss here. You're allowed to do that if you want. So I remember seeing.
It's really quiet. I feel like you have to give him some tequila or something.
I know, man. What do you want? You want a shot? Shot. Yeah, man. So I decided to. That was like always seeing the city, and that kind of like I want to go there one time, and that's why I came here when I was like 17.
It didn't take too much, right? Or you just what?
Yeah,
just you drive. Got on your bike.
Yeah, I just walk. Say to me the same thing. Came to see Jason. Okay.
Jason, right? Yeah. Where's Jason? I was like,
right.
I want to speak to John.
Yeah.
I have an appointment.
Well, actually, that you mentioned that you were like talking to Gian. We met in college. He met me at that time. We were in first we met through a friend, right? Richard,
I think in chemistry.
And then we had a class together, chemistry 151 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so there was chemistry between you two.
All the time.
I got jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've been knowing each other for how long, Gian? Like 10 years, maybe? 8?
I think 8 years.
Yeah,
I think that was 2015, 2016. I think it was 2014.
Yeah, 2014.
So 8 years.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
And time flies so fast. I still feel like I just barely know this guy. Like, what's your name again? Nah, just kidding.
Is that a confession or is it?
I mean, you need to hang out more.
Are you breaking it up?
Yeah, like we need to hang out more, bro. I'm just kidding. No, so what's up, Gian? You have any questions for him? I know you're from San Bernardino. So you I know this is a little bit unfamiliar with you, like this experience that we both had, right, coming from another country and all that. So, is there anything that piques your interested on these type of topics?
I lived in San Bernardino, by the way.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right
So.
there on Waterman and Highland.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you
Oh,
live there,
yeah.
no? Don't you live close to Highland?
Close to Highland.
Yeah.
Yeah. I live
Okay.
I live like a few blocks north of Highland.
Okay.
But yeah. No, I'm just really curious to hear your story. Like, I think I'm always fascinated. Like, it takes so much courage to leave your country and pursue, even though you know there's opportunity in another country, it still takes a lot to jump from what's comfortable to the unfamiliar. So I think now I'm just curious to hear more about like your beginnings in the U.S. and the struggles you had when like in your early adulthood, like right out of high school, and what made you want to become work in the industry that you do. Have you always known that?
I've always known that. Like I said, when I was a little kid, I always used to even have dreams about being on TV and then being on the radio and stuff, and then being curious about how things would work and stuff. And I think this is where law of attraction comes in, you know, because as a little kid, I remember playing to be a DJ or a TV host or singing and stuff like that. I remember one of those times where my dad came back from the U.S. to Mexico. He brought one of those big boom boxes and stuff, the ones that come with the mic included and stuff. And I remember playing a disc jockey, you know, a radio DJ. You know, I would grab one cassette and then or the two cassettes and stuff, and I would just play a song and then talk and shout outs and stuff to the people that I thought were listening to me. and you know, it started all off as a game, and then about the music, I always had interest like in music because my mom was always playing music around the house. You know, she was cleaning and stuff, and she was a big fan of Juan Gabriel and Vicente Fernandez and Camilo Sesto and stuff like that. And she used to watch a show called Siempre en Domingo.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you've heard of it.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a big time. Sundays at 8 or something like that. She used to be watching it all the time every Sunday, and I used to get very excited about seeing how the audience reacted to the different singers or the different guests they had throughout the show and stuff, and that's what got me too curious about it. Oh my God, I wonder if I could do that too, you know? And then I remember being 6 and having to promise my mom that I was going to be a doctor because, I mean, you know, moms, they always want the best for the kids and stuff.
Yeah.
And so she's like, promise me you're going to do good in life, you know. We were struggling a lot with domestic violence and stuff, and she wanted to make sure her kids did okay in life. And she said, I want you to be a doctor when you grow up and stuff. And so that you can be successful and you can be good.
Yeah.
And don't have to go through what we're going through right now. So promise me you're gonna be a doctor. And then I remember saying it just because I wanted to please her, no?
Right, right.
And I said, yes, Mom, I promise I want to be a doctor. But then 2 days later, I was like, Mom, I really don't want to be a doctor. I want to be a singer.
Second thought.
Yeah.
Second thought. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Was she okay with it?
She was not okay with it. I could tell.
But she wanted you to be successful, and to her that was like the ultimate, like, oh, doctor, what's the highest?
Yeah.
It's the safest, right?
Yeah.
It's like the safest.
Yeah, exactly. Had I known right what I was getting myself into,
I know.
Because and then years went by and we came over here, and at 14, I remember when I barely came here, she heard an announcement on the radio about a local band that was looking for a guitar player, and I had learned how to play a little bit of guitar in my junior high years, but it was classic guitar what I learned to play, right? So she's like, why don't you call in? You know, they're looking for a guitar player. And so I called in and I auditioned for the position. and all of a sudden I was like, okay, so but this isn't what I really play, you know? This is grupero, this is
norteño.
Norteño, I mean the real Mexican genres and stuff. And I'm like, I know how to play classic guitar, so I mean, I might not fit the part. And they're like, no, that's fine. I mean, we'll teach you. And they were nice enough to teach me, and I stayed with the band. And then after that, that's when the whole radio thing happened. I was going to high school as well. We went to the radio station right there,
And ask for that.
that's so it all started simultaneously.
Okay. Oh, so
That's it.
yeah, okay, that's cool. So everything's didn't start just radio first or singing first. It kind of
No.
like started at the same
At
time.
the same time, yeah.
And you've been following both of them pretty well.
Mhm.
Because I met you through I think
Juanitos, yeah.
Juanito,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And I was through.
I was there years ago too.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was taking photos for him. I
Mhm,
think,
mhm.
right?
You're taking photos for him.
Did I take photos for you? I don't remember, but I remember that I met you there.
A
and
few shots for me, but
yeah.
it wasn't
And
a whole
since then, we like kind of keep in touch a little bit, right?
Uh-huh, yeah,
Not so much,
I've been
but like
keeping up with you like on your social
Yeah.
media and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, that's great, man. I want to ask you something. It might be a little personal. So what would be something that you like a struggle that you had that it really made a mark on yourself and like it changed your life or perspective or something that you were like, crap, like this is really hard, is really hitting, is like deep. Like what is something that you went through like in your career? And then because I mean you're still going, man, but you're doing good. Like I've seen your videos, I've seen your music. It's great music. I love it. And you're doing good. You're doing great. Your following is increasing. You know.
Thank you.
And I know you're aiming for way more, but you're doing great. You're in a good path, right? And you still have a bunch of time to accomplish way more things. But what is it, like a point in your life that like is like an epicenter, like you know, like como decimos en español, like
A life-changing moment.
life changing moment, rompiendo el agua or
Mhm.
something.
A breakthrough. Ooh. Well, there was a lot of moments in my life that I felt were breakthroughs, but those didn't come before breakdown.
Right. Yeah, the adversity kind of made you.
Yeah. It's adversity, but when you know how to adapt, or when you learn how to adapt, because I don't know anybody that can cope with adversity. When you learn to adapt to different circumstances without suffering, because I mean they are going to be painful situations, but suffering will always be optional. And I had to learn that, as I matured and stuff, because I mean we struggled with that ever since I can remember. Dealing with domestic violence and stuff like that, and having to move to another country, like you said, and adapting to a new country, not knowing that these same opportunities that we have here, we have them in our own country, but we don't know any better. So we only do what they tell us to do.
Yeah.
So if you're
Like what your parents did,
like your
or
parents
whatever.
did, exactly. Yeah. So my grandparents came to the U.S. looking for a better life for their family, for their children and stuff, and that's what they know. That's what they would know. And when we were struggling out in Mexico too, I mean, the only option was, okay, so we have a better life over here, so why don't you come on and bring,
No worries.
and bring your kids too. So that's why we came to the U.S., right? So we always struggled. I mean, we lived with them for a long time, and it wasn't easy, because it's, I mean, as Latinos, we usually gather up in big groups and
Yeah.
and a bunch of families in one small
Spot,
place,
yeah.
in one spot, and so that was hard too, not having any privacy, not having like your own space to play or without bugging anybody.
Yeah.
So I mean, struggles like that made me promise myself that I would always, seek a better life, not only for myself but for my mom and my siblings and stuff. And I've done it, because I've committed to what I think, and it's been so hard, because I felt stuck in different times of my life. I remember when I was 19, I was still in Yakima, Washington, and I was like, I need to get out of this town because there's nothing here for me, for what I'm looking for, in terms of my career and stuff. There's no opportunities here, so I need to move to California. So that was a hard decision for me to make, to leave my family behind and come to California. I came to Sacramento and I struggled. I mean, because the pay wasn't that great. So,
Yeah.
How old were you when you came to Sacramento?
20. I was 20 when I came to Sacramento, and I came by myself.
Oh,
Wow.
So that was your first time, young
Uh,
adult on your own, struggling.
Yeah. Well, that was a bigger struggle than what I was dealing
Yeah.
with back home or back in Yakima,
Yeah.
because there was it's complicated being in a dysfunctional kind of family, because you're so broken that any little thing
Become a big
can become
Bounce
a
back.
huge
hitch.
deal, and
Yeah.
ups and downs, and
Yeah.
no stability. And I was tired of that, and I was like,
Mhm.
okay, I need to get out of here, and so I came to California. Little did I know that I was going to struggle like more than I thought, because the pay wasn't good.
Yeah.
So sometimes I
Kind
didn't
of
have
good thing you
anybody to-
didn't know though, right? Because if
Right.
you knew all that, you
Right,
might
yeah,
not
you
gone,
probably-
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I might
but
have not make
Yeah.
the decision to come.
but I think even though it was hard, because I think it was like your own struggle,
Mm-hmm.
right? It was not like because you had all these problems at home. It
yeah.
was not you dealing with those things.
Yeah.
You dealing with problems, and at times I'm pretty sure it felt like very bad, like crappy stuff, but they were yours.
I feel
right?
like
Path.
dying. I mean, I felt like dying. I mean, I almost committed suicide when I was
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
when I
Yeah.
was. You're sorry to hear that I didn't commit suicide.
No, sorry to hear that you felt that way, man. Yeah.
No, I mean it's part of life, you know.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
guess it was a great opportunity for me to realize that there's so many great things in life to live for. And I'm so glad it didn't go through.
Yeah.
But it was, I was that miserable to the point where I didn't want to live anymore, because I didn't know, or I didn't know how to belong
Yeah.
in this world. I was like, so what's my purpose? What's the point of me being here in this world? I don't know what to do. I had limiting thoughts and stuff. So that was a breaking point for me. Like, after, my failed attempt to commit suicide, I decided to live, and I decided to live for good. And I decided that I was going to struggle, but I wasn't going to suffer. And you're not matured enough to think like that when you're 17. But for some reason, I was like, okay, if this didn't happen, it's for a reason. God didn't want me like on the other side, so I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna make the best of it.
You're at a crossroads.
Out of
Like
that.
if you either can, there's always going to be adversity, but you can, like you said, suffer, or you can like
Learn from
it and grow
Yeah.
and adapt. And
What you
So
said
that
is
was
pretty
one.
good. Like it's a great quote. Like
Uh-huh.
I'm willing to struggle, but I'm not willing to like suffer. Like I'm not gonna suffer. Like it's your decision, right? Like
Mhm.
emotional intelligence. Like you decide
Exactly.
how you feel, right? You control your emotions and all that. So
So
going
that
through.
was one, because I feel like or at least I think that we as human beings die several times in our lifetime. I don't know if it makes sense, but
yeah.
like emotionally.
emotionally, and then you
Spiritually.
become a better version of yourself. So that was one point. And then I think at 20, for me, I feel like it happens every 7 years for some reason.
Mhm.
That's interesting you say that, because I was reading somewhere they said that every 7 years your personality changes. Like, so when you're a young man,
Yeah.
18, right? Then 25, your mid 20s, and then 32. Like
Yeah.
they say that your
Yeah.
personality changes every 7
7,
years.
14.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like a total different person than I was like 8 years ago when we met.
Yeah.
It's just
Very true. Yeah.
it's
Same.
interesting how that happens, But and then it could be a mechanism too, because sometimes you just choose to block some of the things that made you uncomfortable to say. But anyway, going back to my breaking points, at around 22, 23, I moved to San Bernardino, and that was fun. It was San Bernardino was fun because I started working for a radio station out there, and I
Oh,
was
nice,
still like
nice.
seeking a space in the music industry too. Didn't know how to do it. Didn't know who to approach. Didn't know like anything about it. I just knew I wanted to do it. But like I said, limiting thoughts were a recurrence, because that's what I had been taught.
Yeah.
It's very hard. It's impossible. You need a lot of money. Those are the thoughts that
like
People put it in
self
your
doubt
mind,
or
yeah.
just
Yeah, it's just like people like tell you those things, right? Like people that maybe they're not able to follow what they want. So they believe that themselves, so they teach that to little kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
so
programmed this way
mhm.
as you're growing up, or when you're a kid. You know, um, my first thought, I want to be an artist. I'm not going to tell you my mom's response, but it wasn't very positive.
I can only
I can
imagine.
imagine,
Yeah.
I was around 27 when I realized that that had been stuck and I was feeling very depressed and stuff. And so I heard about um, a book um, that was that was becoming a bestseller or something like that. It's called The Secret. A lot of people read The Secret, or they saw the documentary at least. I'm not a big time reader, so I saw the documentary.
I watched the movie.
Yeah, I waited till the movie
I read
came
the
out.
audiobook.
I watched the
audiobook,
movie,
exactly.
and then I said that I read the book.
Exactly. Is
Oh,
that
the
what-
What was that
Harry
one in
Potter?
college?
Oh,
we
yeah.
all do? Yeah.
Tony, what was that one in college? I read the it's like a summary of the book. I forget what it's called, but it's
The resume?
it's like there's a website that gives a
Oh
summary
yeah,
of
it's
each book.
Spark.
Spark Notes.
Spark Notes, yeah.
I read the
Spark
Spark
Notes,
Notes.
Yeah,
yeah.
if you don't wanna, if you
You don't
wanna
want to read
shi-
the book?
yeah.
It's like one paragraph.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah.
Go to sparknotes.com. We're now being promoted by them. So we used to do that in college. I did it because I do read, but I'm also not like a big reader, right? So every time they gave me a book, I would just go to Spark Notes, and they literally summarize everything, the main key points, and that's how like okay. And I will show
That's a
I'll
good
show
way to
that,
do it.
speak
Yeah.
about that in the class, and it seemed like I read the book.
Seems like you know what you're talking
You
about.
seem smart.
I seem smart.
Wow, it looks like it seems like you read a lot.
Yeah, that she looks great, right?
Yeah,
it looks smart.
Well, in my case, I saw the documentary first, and then I read the book, and then I liked the book better than the documentary because it explains a little better, I guess, the concepts and the ideas and the whole procedure. So I learned a lot of things by reading the book, and I pretty much said to myself, well, I'm gonna try this. If it doesn't help me, at least it's not gonna hurt me. Start
Yeah.
trying out some of these concepts, right? So I started um, um, changing the way I was thinking, and I realized that I was attracting a lot of the bad things that were happening in my life, um, uh, and that I was responsible because at some point you start complaining about every single little thing that happened to you in your life, and you blame that for your bad luck, pretty much. You blame everybody for your bad luck. I mean, I used to blame my dad, my mom, my
Yeah.
siblings, and everybody that was in my life for my bad luck. And I was like, because according to me, they were responsible for putting me through so much
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at 27, I learned to be responsible for my own actions and my own thoughts and stuff, and I put those things in practice. And little by little, like miracles started happening in my life, and I said to myself, "Wow, this is really working." So, by this time, I was working in a radio station in Fresno. I had moved from San Bernardino to Fresno. I mean, I lost my job due to the recession and stuff like that, and then I had to move to Fresno to find another job.
2008.
2008.
Oh, okay.
Around 2008, and so I read the book, and then I lost my job again.
You read the book at the right moment then.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. I mean, it had been a different story if I wasn't like prepared in
Informed
some
and all
way
that, yeah.
to deal with whatever was happening back then. And so I lost my job, but I still kept thinking like positive thoughts, And one concept that got in my mind really, really hard was a positive thought is 1 million times more powerful than a negative thought. So, I mean, whatever happened, I was desperate, yeah, but I kept thinking to myself and having lots of faith that the outcome was going to be positive, and it was, because then my old employer called me and said, "Hey, I need help in San Bernardino again. Would you move here?" I was like, oh yeah, great moment. I mean, great timing.
Hmm.
So I moved back to San Bernardino, and things started changing after then. After that, so I started doing the afternoon shift for the radio station, and I started working on my album, thinking differently, than the first time I recorded an album, and where nothing really happened, because I mean I recorded an album thinking, oh, I'm gonna be discovered by a huge record label, I'm gonna break a deal or whatever. No, so nothing happened because I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I recorded the album, but I didn't work it. I didn't
like
promote
you didn't
it.
promote it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And at that time it was different.
I hear that a
Right.
lot, like from artists, that it's like you're your first time hearing them on YouTube or the radio, and you think they're new, but they've been working at it for like 10 years.
Yeah, it's like I've been lucky. I was lucky or something.
Yeah.
For like, but I worked for like 10 years to be this lucky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Not that you mentioned that. Sorry if I interrupt you.
Okay.
Sorry that you mentioned like all that promotion that you didn't promote, or that back then was different. Nowadays things have evolved very rapidly, right? We've been and these we're living through this digital era that has been evolving like crazy, dude. Like I think humans haven't been like progressing this fast before in the history of human beings since like this century started. We've been like quick evolve, like technology even evolving. And when you speak about that, it brought to me the social media.
Mm-hmm.
How and let me ask you this, because back then you said that you struggled because you didn't promote, and you were waiting for like a promoter to discover you, a talent, something
record label,
record label. But now I have noticed, because I have friends, besides you, I have other friends that they've been they don't need a label.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need a record deal, because they do it great on social media. They do it on YouTube. They're doing great through social media, which you're doing great right now. You have like 30-something thousand
on
followers?
one of my
Instagram, right?
Instagram accounts.
Yeah.
And then the other one has around 42.
42. So let's say 70, around 70, 80,000 total, right? Plus whatever you have on YouTube, which I didn't check the numbers for
But
that.
it's hard.
Yeah.
Working social media, it's really hard. I mean,
And you have a
full-time
job.
huh?
and I got caught like in different eras too, because I was like, okay, I'm young enough to know how to handle social media, but I'm old enough not to want to deal with it.
True, yeah, because you were kind of in the era
discovery era
of. Are you millennial, or you're the generation
I'm borderline,
before?
yeah.
Borderline.
Gen
okay.
X.
Yeah. So you're right when kind of Snapchat, Instagram took off, but a little bit before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's a millennial. He's like I told this to my friend Max, and he's like, "Oh, that's BS. That doesn't shit." But there's like older millennials, mid millennials, and the younger millennials, right? And then Gen Z, which is like I think 24 and below, something like that, right?
Yeah, I think like 24 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think I land in the mid.
In the mid.
Well, I remember when social media started. I had my MySpace, and I used to
Yeah,
I used to
MySpace.
work
I
on
had
it
MySpace.
for hours, and changing the backgrounds, and
Yeah, you can have playlists and stuff,
the
right?
widgets and whatnot, and then all of a sudden Facebook took over, and then
Like a year after that, right?
Yeah, and I had a hard time opening my Facebook account until my one of my good friends, Jasenia, she's like, you need to open a Facebook account. You're missing out. I was like, really?
What am I missing out?
Then I opened a Facebook account, but that was back in 2009, I think, the first time I opened it. But Facebook had been
for a year, active for a year.
a year or two. Or
Yeah, I think it started in 2017, but it was only college students. 2018 became like public. 2008
2008.
became public. Yeah.
I was like, what?
I was like,
My bad. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Sorry, guys.
So it's been hard to keep up with the social media, and then and for me at least, I'm only starting to get the hang of one platform or one social media, and then something else
and then
comes
TikTok,
out.
and then,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just starting to get the hang of TikTok right now, and I wouldn't be surprised that tomorrow there's another
Something
social
else.
media
Yeah,
happening.
actually, a statistic says that TikTok is gonna be around like at this good at least for another year, 2 years.
Yeah,
3 posts a day.
right. 3 posts a day. Okay.
3 posts a day is just a great weapon for TikTok.
Okay.
Post 3 times a day
To
Oh,
get
is that what
noticed,
it
you're
is?
saying?
to start noticing. Yeah, because look, I posted a very ridiculous video of myself, and I got like 5,000 views. It's crazy. Like, who wants to watch?
So it's
this
got to be
guy?
ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's not. No, it's not. It has to be ridiculous. I'm just saying, like, the amount of exposure that you have.
Oh, you're saying, yeah, it's incredible. Like how it can, it's like a flame.
Yeah, the algorithm is just literally TikTok is just like, okay, you create something, let me show it to this, and let's
whole
see how
world.
many people engage
Show
with
it
it.
to the world.
Yeah.
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 And then like, okay, nobody engaged. You want to be stuck in 5,000 now. But at the beginning, the first like day or two is like showing it to
Yeah.
people. So
It's
that's
not-
why 3 times
yeah.
a day.
So just recorded a lot of content and then post it at least 3 times a day.
If you can, if not, at least once. If you can, at least post something.
That's a good tip. Thank you. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I, don't know. I mean, I have people to do my social media because I
Yeah.
can't keep up with it. Remember, I have
know.
the radio station. I work every day. Then I'm a
It's hard.
correspondent for Banda Max, which is Televisa,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm a correspondent for Telemundo as well. And then I have a personal life to live too. You know? And then I can't
Have a life,
I
believe it or
can't
not.
keep up. And then I have the 2 Instagram accounts, the 2 Facebook accounts, or 3 Facebook.
So you have your own
accounts.
social media managers?
I have my own social media managers only because I cannot.
Right,
It's
right.
impossible
You
to
have
keep up
to.
with
Yeah.
with all
Wow.
the content. that
Even
needs
those
to be
people, they use
created
those
and stuff.
apps where they post like you
schedule.
know, the
Yeah.
schedule.
Well,
posts.
that's what I
Yeah.
do. That's,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
my.
Yeah, so- I'm
sorry.
sorry.
That's my business.
So
and-
it
and-
has helped me promote, but it's hard to keep up with it because my social media manager is always bugging me about, you need to come up with content, you need to be recording yourself, you need to be. I was like, wait, so when do I get to actually enjoy a conversation like
Yeah.
we're having it right
Trying
now?
to
It's
I mean,
tough.
if I'm recording an album, if I'm recording vocals for something, the last thing I want to do is be recording myself, recording my vocals, you know? 'Cause
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's like you want to
hard.
live your life, not always be like,
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I do try to enjoy my life. I go on a vacation. If I go to Mexico, I hardly ever post. I hardly ever, post anything about my personal life because I like enjoying moments with
Yeah.
with my family. You know, and if I'm stuck in social media all the time, then you're not really living. So it's pros and cons, about social media.
exactly.
It helps you promote, but then it takes away from real life. It's all everything's virtual now. Everything's. I mean, we've lost
Yeah.
that human
You're right.
connection.
Yeah,
Yes.
remember we were talking about the other day, Tony, like
Yeah.
you have to use social media. You can't let it use you, and like you have to like use it. It's best to use it for your business or
Yeah.
for
As a tool.
anything like that.
Use it as a
instead of
tool,
just-
and it's hard. Trust me, it's hard because I've been a victim of that. So, it's literally an addiction. It's
Yeah.
literally an addiction. And I'm still in the process of learning, but like I have been able to manage more separating that. Like now I see it as a tool for my business, right? And for my clients' businesses. It's like, okay, but I get what your social media manager is saying because the more content you have, the better for you. But the thing is, it's a mindset. It's a mindset that is very hard to keep and can be tiring because it's a mindset that if you notice all the influencers like the Logan Pauls, the Jake Pauls, whoever you want to think about, right?
I don't know who the hell you're talking about.
Oh,
Right now.
some influencers. Whoever in Spanish, who is a good influencer in Spanish? Yeah, who's a good influencer in Spanish? Like
I don't know. I don't know any
other-
influencers. I don't because I don't keep up with.
Yeah,
social media
so
and
many,
influencers and
right?
stuff. There's so many.
yeah,
And
we
that's
all
the
are,
thing.
right?
they
And then all of a sudden they're influencers, and then all of a sudden you see them in mainstream, and I was like, okay, so you're not an influencer anymore. Now you do mainstream, you do
Yeah.
TV or
TV.
conventional media, radio, TV, and stuff. Like, they become famous.
They become famous.
sudden, no?
Yeah. So like Jake Paul and Logan Paul are like those two brothers. They're like very famous now, right now. But what I was saying is that what I've noticed, because this is my job, I study this. This is what I do for a living. So my job is to keep up and to see what's working and what's not. And I study the people that are successful at this, right? They're like killing the game. And I noticed that it's a mindset, dude. Like literally all they think is content. That's all they think all day. What is it that I'm doing right now that I can record and put in my YouTube or social media that will get likes and follows and comments and stuff like that?
Well, imagine a person like myself that creates content to create content. I don't know if that makes sense, but
You create art.
I mean, I create music. That's content, right?
Uh-huh.
But then, that
But then they're
becomes
wanting you to make a social media content.
content.
Yeah, I
right,
get.
exactly.
It's like just it's
Because
another job.
It's two different worlds too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I create content. I create content for the radio station, for the TV and stuff, and so
Now there's social media.
then
Yeah.
and now there's social media, and sometimes they don't mix, you know, because it's a whole different audience.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a whole different audience, is social media and in mainstream, for instance. You know,
Yeah.
you might be real famous in mainstream, but nobody knows you on social media, and vice versa. You
Yeah.
know, and so it's
Do
complicated.
you want my advice on that? Can I give you
Of course.
an honest
Por favor.
advice? Yeah. Let's concentrate on social media. Mainstream, it's not like it's gonna die, but it's already becoming secondary. An example, Super Bowl commercials. Huge, right? All companies invest millions of dollars on making commercials for TV for the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
This past Super Bowl, State Farm is one of the companies that invests most money on commercials for the Super Bowl on TV. Millions of dollars, dude. This past, they spent a quarter of that, but they invested only in TikTok and Instagram Reels. No more TV.
Wow.
Yeah, very true.
They
yeah.
pay influencers on TikTok to promote
Just
a
look
State
at
Farm, insurance company, you know?
yeah.
So my advice to you is that focus on social media, because that's the present and still the future.
Thing is, you know, radio still pays my bills.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I'm not gonna lose your job.
Keep your day job.
Yeah, don't lose your
It's kinda
job.
complicated.
Don't lose your
I
job.
don't-
Yeah.
I think we have the capability to evolve.
Yeah.
Into
Already
a
is
new era.
evolving, right?
It is complicated, but it's not. You know, I'm not playing a victim here. Or I'm not limiting myself. I mean, I'm going with it. It's complicated. I'm admitting that it is a little complicated, but I am trying to evolve with whatever and keep up with whatever.
It's hard, dude. Trust me, I
comes
know.
up. Oh.
I manage my own, and I also help like have clients because I do that. I'm marketing, social media experience, stuff like that, yada yada, and it's hard, man, because I need to keep up. Like in my case, that's my job, right? Like let's say that if I work with you and stuff, my job will be help you out. Like, okay, bro, look, this is what's hitting. You want to get more views, more engagement. This is what you have to do. You know, and either show you or do it with you, whatever you have with your social media. Every social media company or person works differently. So yeah, so that will be my job. Is like, tell me that's your like. You will ask me, tell me what's working that I can do with my limitations, right? I will have to adapt to you, to your needs, right? Okay, because I cannot ask you for things that you're not gonna be able to do or that you're gonna burn out. Because that's not the goal. The goal is for me to keep you going, right? So
Yeah,
like,
my content director is always asking me, if you work out, take a video of yourself working out. You know, because people love that, and people always do that. You know, I was like, so when do I work out?
yeah, I don't work out.
I don't work out. Straight up.
That's funny, man.
Hey, when you go to the beach, take a video of yourself. So when do I enjoy the beach?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm always taking videos of myself.
Yeah, man, it's crazy,
It-
right?
It is hard to keep up, but like I said, it's
No, I totally understand you, and I totally understand you, social media guys.
Right,
I
and
understand
people
both
are
of them.
probably wondering. I was like, so it's not really artists, the ones who post on social media.
Yeah.
Most likely not.
Yeah. Here's the thing: stories, you can post stories that's like a direct engagement with your followers, right? And the reason he's asking you to do that, it's just because nowadays, people like or follow more when you are like show more of your personality, right? So not only present yourself as like I'm the singer, and only content that is of you singing, but also content like what he say he's right. Like if you're exercising, show a video of exercising. Doesn't have to be every single time.
Show a picture of my bicep.
Exactly. Or you're running the beach, right, with the hair falling.
They watch.
They watch it.
They watch,
Slow,
right, yeah.
in slow motion. People were like, why is that guy running so slow? And you just-
Why is he telling that guy to follow him?
And then-
There's an app that makes you makes your video low motion.
slow motion, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just funny, right? Like you see somebody slow motion on the beach, and they like the camera guy's running.
And
Like,
the music on the background.
Yeah.
You're doing the music yourself, right? Dun dun dun
Dun,
dun
dun.
dun. Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do. You know what? That's actually a very funny video to make for Instagram
For
or
TikTok.
TikTok.
It's already-
That will be. You
See,
see, my mind. I'm
Wow,
sorry,
you're
my
already
mind is
thinking
there. Okay, guys, that's what I do.
Yeah.
So
It's your job. Yeah.
that's my job. But trust me, I get burnt out. I
Yeah.
get tired. Sometimes I just need to decompress. Like, I'm at the gym and just like not answering texts. Not like the gym helps me to relax. I'm not like nothing like look. But I work out. I'm kind of healthy, you know.
It works
Yeah.
out.
I work out. I'm kind of healthy, you know. Oh,
Sexy, and I know it.
Yeah, so it helps me decompress. So I think
Yeah.
it keeps my mind out of the
You
business.
take
because
videos of
sometimes,
yourself working out?
sometimes.
Sometimes.
I'm not gonna lie, I do
Get
sometimes.
the
I
bicep-
fall into
bicep
the.
shot.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah, if you went to the gym and you didn't take a picture, then people are not going to.
Did you really go to the gym?
Did
Yeah.
you really go to the gym? Exactly.
Exactly right. I try, dude. I try sometimes, but like that's why I understand you very well because it's hard to keep up. You know, it's hard to be always on the game. You know.
It feels for me. It feels better when somebody hasn't seen you for a long time and they're like, "Oh, you've been working out."
Yeah.
Right, you want the
yeah.
genuine, yeah. Like you
You
don't want
look
to tell people you want to
good.
work out.
Exactly.
You want other people to be like, "Oh, you work out."
Or if
yeah.
it's somebody that
Right.
you're like, you're looking good. You guys can hear it. That sounded very sexy.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought you
All right,
were
man.
gagging or something.
That's what I like to tell myself. All right, man. So this has been a great conversation. And before we finish, man, I want to play this game with you. It's called
right.
Would You Rather.
Would I rather?
Yeah, Would You Rather. And I'm going to read this from, let me reach out this closer to me, put it closer to me. And I ask one question, maybe Gian ask another question. So would you rather, honest response, ready?
Mhm.
Right? There's
I
no
am ready.
points, there's anything, just
All
to
right,
get to
okay.
know you more.
So questions, and then I answer.
Yeah. So it's like an example,
Brutally
like,
honest.
well, you want your
fire through it,
100%
yeah.
honesty.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
So an example, the first one, right?
First
So
thought.
would you rather have another 10 years with your partner or one night stand with your celebrity crush?
10 years with my
With your partner?
significant other.
Okay.
Next one. Would you rather be chronically underdressed or overdressed?
Underdressed.
Comfortable? Yeah, you're my same. I like to be comfortable, man. I don't like to put suits on because they're like so tight, man. I look okay, I guess, but it's,
It's a
so
lot of work.
tired, man.
It's a lot of
Yeah,
work.
Yeah.
so
It's a
stressful.
lot of work.
It's stressful.
It's so
Yeah.
stressful.
Yeah.
All right, so would you rather have everyone you know be able to read your thoughts, or everyone you know to have access to your internet history?
Well, my internet history I always delete just in case, just in case. But and then my thoughts are I'm very transparent. I don't
Okay.
do stuff if I don't like something. I'll make a face.
Yeah. So you'll say your thoughts. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. What about you?
Me, I feel like I'd rather have someone know my internet history because your thoughts are like that's everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
me
it's
too.
like I don't know.
Oh, it's
I'm a mess.
worse than your internet history. Your
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You see his answer? His answer was like,
What's it?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, I mean it's just
Let me
it's
see
like
your internet
it's
history.
sure you want to see it?
You know
Sure,
what?
you wanna see it?
Let me
better
see.
not,
Let me
I
see.
don't know.
Let me see your saved videos on Instagram.
Ooh.
Oh.
I don't have Instagram.
Yeah, he did it.
You
Yeah.
don't?
No, I don't.
You know what? Too many girls, man.
All this talk about social media and you don't have Instagram.
Yeah,
Well, I'm taking like a social media break.
Oh.
yeah, we
Yeah,
talk
I
about
have
it.
one. I
Trust
just
me.
Uh,
When he
I kind of have a feeling you're girlfriend forced you to do that?
I had a feeling too.
No, it was me. I wanted to because I was kind of feeling
Did you leave that
drained.
for Lent or something?
It was me, girlfriend.
You kind of have a feeling what? I'm sorry.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh,
I just wanted to take a break. I felt drained. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel better.
It can be
without it.
very draining. And yeah.
See?
I agree
Yeah.
with you guys.
Yeah,
no, I
I'm
get you,
agreeing.
100%,
Yeah, I agree
yeah.
with you guys. It's very
Yeah.
like,
But I understand what you're saying, like the power of it, because it's the only thing you could. It's the only platform where anyone and everyone can see what you posted.
exactly. And here's the thing, understand me. That's my job, right? So it's hard for me, like when I hear somebody that doesn't have a social media or struggling with social media, my
3-year-old.
instinct is to help.
Oh,
Is it what do you say?
you're old. You don't have social media.
Oh
My
my
brother
God.
doesn't have social media
Yeah.
at all.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
No Facebook,
Oh, okay.
No,
no Instagram, no nothing.
yeah.
See, I'm
My
not the
in-
only one.
you're not. But my instinct is to try to help. Like, why don't you have an Instagram? Like,
Right.
what is it? Is
Like-
there a reason? Like, what do you do for a living?
You mad, bro?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
mad, bro. Like,
exactly, yeah.
and that's an honest
Sorry,
response.
guys.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. Gosh, jeez. And that's an honest response. Like, I really like ask them, like, what do you do for a living? Whatever they tell me, oh, I sell cakes, bro. If you start your Instagram, your business is gonna increase.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm a
they're not
He's
telling you
always
that?
he's always telling me because I work in physical therapy and personal training, and he's always telling me like you need to make videos, you need to make TikToks, and I'm like,
You see?
I say what you say, like man, I want to enjoy, like I want to meet people in real life, like I get tired of that,
Yeah.
but I understand this is powerful.
Yeah, that's
And I think that it'd be a little complicated for you to be massaging somebody and then taking a video of yourself.
Yeah, be like,
Yeah. That's true. Like, let me take a video of this massage. Yeah. All right, so let's go back to the game. In
Would you rather lose your sight or your memories?
My sight.
Ooh, your sight.
Sight.
Yeah, memories are gold. Yeah. Oh. Will you rather lose? He asked you that. Will you rather have a universal respect or unlimited power?
Universal respect.
Why?
'Cause with respect comes power.
It's a good answer.
That's a great answer. Yeah.
Would you rather give up air conditioning and heating for the rest of your life or give up internet for the rest of your life? I already know your answer.
Well, my answer
No,
is,
answer.
you know my answer too. I'd rather give up internet for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
That's
that's
funny, yeah.
I want to be
that's what
comfortable.
Yeah. What about your answer?
Yeah, mine's the opposite. I don't really care about air conditioning. I don't turn it on because it's expensive.
So you're cheap. That's what you tell me.
I have heating at my house too, but I
Yeah,
use a little wall heater.
That's
I
a
don't-
tough
I don't
question
use
for
it.
me.
I just crank it up, doing summer, especially during this hot, super.
Do we
hot
get
days.
bonus points if we give up both?
There's no points.
Okay.
But then again, where I was born, there was no
There was-
internet or
air conditioning.
heating,
Sure.
air conditioning.
So you could survive either way.
could survive
Yeah,
either way.
more than like a quarter of my life was without internet, so I think we might be able to manage.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this one: would you rather swim in a pool full of Nutella or a pool full of maple syrup?
Maple syrup.
Maple syrup. Yeah, but
Nutella tastes better.
yeah,
Well, it tastes better, but it looks nastier. So I don't know.
looks like
your
poop.
poop.
Isn't it more thicker though?
Yeah,
You're gonna be
Yeah,
harder
it'd
to
be
swim in?
harder to swim in Nutella than-
You see,
It's a better
maple
workout.
syrup.
You get
This
more
guy-
calories.
This thing's on everything. This guy, easy life. Let's go.
What's the
Syrup.
easiest?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, next one. Would you rather labor under the hot sun or extreme cold?
Oh God.
So, Death Valley or Alaska?
Yeah.
I guess cold.
Because you're working and you're gonna
You're
warm
working
up.
and you're
Yeah,
gonna
that
warm
makes
up,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, yeah. What about you?
Cold because you're working, so you're gonna warm up.
True. And then you can wear like jackets and stuff. But have you ever worked hard labor on cold?
I haven't.
I have.
Sucks.
It's horrible.
It's ass.
It's fucking hate. I fucking hate it. That's why I don't like do a labor job because it sucks when it's cold, dude. Like my fingers, I feel like they're gonna
Fingers.
fall off. One time they were purple, dude, and I didn't even notice. Huh?
If you don't move them, yeah.
Oh, it's because I used to work at this company that used to do like trailers, and there was like outdoors, and it's like an air gun too. So it was like freezing. I was wearing gloves, and I was with this
Still
air
cold.
gun. So it's still colder. It was metal
Well,
in the
I
air.
lived in Yakima, Washington. It snows there.
Oh yeah, that's another game.
Freezes there.
Yeah, that's another level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
All right, so we have a couple more, and I think we're done. Would you rather buy 10 things you don't need every time you go shopping, or always forget the one thing you need when you go to the store?
Oh, I always do that. Beyonce's talent. I can get myself somebody with the
business.
with
business.
acumen if I have the talent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. Yeah, what
That's
about
true.
you, Jen?
I'm less artsy. I probably like someone who's like the business
Yeah.
savvy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough question, right? Because if you have the Beyonce's talent, you kind of like pretty up there, right? You're
Yeah.
well. This is the
You
thing.
can have a lot of JCs if you have Beyonce's talent.
True.
That's true.
It
Are we
depends
talking
on your
about the same talent though.
It depends on your personality, right? You are a singer. You like to be on stage, so it makes sense you pick Beyonce.
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
He's more introvert,
Right.
so it
right.
makes sense you want to be more business savvy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll pick same Beyonce.
Beyonce.
I think I like to be in front of the. I don't sing for nothing, right? Even if I need to save my life.
So you guys want to be single ladies?
The hands. The hands.
All right.
Oh man. Well, man. We are done with the episode. I think we're about to finish. I just want to ask you: you have any advice for anybody that wants to follow what you do, a radio host or a singer? What is one advice or two advice that you will tell them right now that you think they need to do for them to get to where you at and accomplish their dreams of becoming singers or radio hosts?
Well, I'm no one to give advice, but what's worked for me is, and maybe it could work for somebody else too, staying consistent, staying committed to your dreams, always visualizing what you want for your life, and always putting a expiration date on every single project, because if you don't, years go by and you
Yeah.
haven't completed shit. So always put an expiration date on your projects, your dreams, and always have clear intention of what you want for yourself and your family.
Yeah, that's a great
That's
advice.
good. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, that's great, man. Well, I want to thank you for
Thank
coming,
you.
man. Thank you for coming
Thank
all
you
the way
very
from
much.
LA, man.
Yes,
That's I really appreciate that. I follow you on social media, man. We've been knowing each other for like 8 years. So I really appreciate you coming down here, spending time with the boys, hanging out with
Thank
the
you.
boys.
Thank you.
I didn't realize what I was getting myself into until I saw like the 5
Cameras.
The 3 cameras. You were what you
Possible.
were okay. What were you
It's like
thinking?
a-
What were you thinking?
You were thinking just audio, huh?
I was thinking just
Like no no
no
cameras or
no until I saw the freeway I'm talking about, because it was
Oh, the driving.
Oh, the driving traffic.
driving. It was
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
traffic.
Well,
It was
it's-
bumper to
it's-
bumper.
It's
3
raining.
hours. Like, what did I
Ah.
do? I should have just told them, hey, why don't you guys come over to LA?
Yeah, right. Next
So
time.
you came from LA?
Yeah.
Oh,
What
yeah.
parts?
I live in Eagle Rock,
Oh, okay.
So that's like in northern area, like
northern LA. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I lived in El Serrano a little
so,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I live in Glendale.
Yeah, we've been following each other, I guess.
I know, right?
Yeah.
San Bernardino,
Mhm.
Washington.
Yeah,
My dad
San
lives in
Diego.
Washington.
Oh, in Washington State or
The
DC?
state. The state.
The state? Or
Yeah.
what part?
It's like an hour outside of Portland, so it's right on the border
Ah.
between Oregon and Washington.
It's not Yakima?
It's a very small town. I forget the name.
Maybe it's that one.
Wapato, Pasco, Kennewy.
Are those by Portland?
Hermiston.
It's man, I
See,
don't know.
I don't know.
It's by Portland's.
I've been in
okay.
Portland. It's nice.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it. It was a very nice city.
Portland's it's a really real nice city.
It has like this small town vibe, but it's actually a city. So I kind of like. Oh, that when I went, that was kind of nice.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm coming from LA, so I'm used to this.
yeah.
Ah,
It's like
I love San
skyscrapers.
Diego.
Oh, it's a small city.
I was like 8 when I lived here in San Diego, but I love the city. I still drive by my old neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where we used to live
Whatever.
here? Where?
Huh?
Where?
On La Naranja Street. La Naranja
La
Street.
Naranja. Here?
Orange.
Naranja.
No, it's not orange. It's La
La
Naranja.
Naranja in Spanish.
Naranja
Oh.
Street. And Euclid.
Bruh, come on.
And Euclid.
Come on, bro.
It's La Naranja and Euclid. Look it up to see if you find it still there. But the same.
My bad.
I just
The
busted
old
your balls.
apartment complex is still there. They
Oh, yeah?
demolished everything around it, but the apartment complex we used to live in. You know, so I still drive by and I was like, I used to live
I
in
used
that
to live there.
apartment.
That's cool, man. It brings memories, right?
Yeah. Good times
Yeah.
here in San Diego.
Well, man, anything else you want to say to Adal before we finish this, Gian? Everything, something?
He lives in Gresham, Washington. I don't know if you.
And where?
Gresham, Washington.
Gresham. I was-
By Portland. It's like by Portland.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, but yeah, thank you for coming out,
Oh, thank
Adal.
you. Thank you for having
We
me.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hella drive, but yeah,
Worth it.
worth
I was
it.
like, I was
Yeah.
thinking to myself, I must like this guy so much because
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate that,
I
man.
like you. I like you.
I like you too, man. That's why I invited you, and you were like one of my first thoughts when I was like, okay, who's gonna be your next guest? And like, I had the perfect. I told you that, right? I had the
Right.
perfect guest.
I was having those same thoughts when I was driving from San Bernardino. I was like, Tony's a good guy though.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious.
You drove all the way from San Bernardino
Yeah.
today?
Today.
Yeah,
today,
he lives in San Bernardino.
Yeah.
I'm the only one here, but I mean, we're doing this once a month. Try to do once a month, but we might do this month. We might do a few times more.
Next time, you would have to drive out there.
Next time I go to you, yeah,
Because
or maybe
Two
next
from
time.
one-
Next
Yeah,
time we go
you're
to.
carpooled.
I know, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
That's true. You should have do that. Yeah.
Too late now.
Too late. I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, guys,
Thank you, guys.
thank you
Thank
so
you,
much. We are done with this episode. So don't forget to follow us on YouTube. Follow us on any social media, any audio platform. You're gonna find us. Come and hang out with the boys, and see you guys next time.
Don't tag me because I probably won't see you because I'm not on social media.
Gian. See you guys. Peace.